Hello, everyone. Good evening. I just wanted to come at you with a quick video tonight. I know this wasn't pre announced, nor was it scheduled, but my name is Dr. Rachel Gainsborough, and I typically go live on Tuesdays in our Facebook group. And my goal for 2023 is to make sure to continue to bring you guys actionable information. And as I was working today on our profit and loss statements for our short-term rentals or our P&Ls. We had an amazing year. And so my goal is to just come at you with some of the top information that we are looking at in order to leverage our next steps for 2023. So how do we intend to be successful in 2023? And so again, we were looking at our P&Ls, our profits and losses for 2022. We found the properties that performed the best. And we are reassessing two properties right now that did not perform as well as we wanted. And so, wanted to come at you this evening because we will be transitioning this week and heading to a conference. It's a work related but play related type of conference. I'm super excited about it. We will be in Cabo, and if you're here, Amanda, the traveling realtor, I need to get in touch with you because I know you're in Cabo. But yeah, so the point of tonight is to just come in here and give you a quick overview of what we're going to be looking at for investing for 2023 because we're looking to continue to invest in short term rentals. We're still very, very confident in that strategy, and we're not intending on pivoting for 2023 since there are some amazing tax benefits that we do want to leverage as well. All right. So, for those of you who are just joining, feel free to say hello in the chat. Those of you who are joining via Facebook, I want to see your name. So, if you wouldn't mind going to chat.restream.io. Yay! Happy New Year to you. Exactly. So I see someone who just joined on Facebook. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if I can add this to the lower third. So what I'm seeing on my end, it says Facebook user. Hi Rachel, Happy New Year. But I want to see your name. Is it is that okay? Or am I being too picky about that? Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean. Uh, there. Okay, you see, if you go to chat.restream.io/Facebook, if you're joining on Facebook, give them permission to see your name. That way I can see your name. Okay, John, so good to see you. Oh my goodness. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you for joining me. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, this is just a little bit of an ad hoc training because I will not be here on Tuesday. I will be in Cabo. So I thought I'd jump in here and answer a few questions that I received throughout the week and the weekend, and it really came about from us doing our P&Ls. Our profit and loss statements for our short-term rentals. You always want to do your profit and loss statements because that's what's going to help you to get more properties when you're working with lenders who are looking at you like a business. So they want to see your P&Ls, okay? And we have all the things that in there. I was just looking at one right now. It's like snow care or snow removal. So all the things you want to make sure that you have that in your P&Ls so that when you go to continue to scale and scale elegantly at that, you have an opportunity to show what you were able to do. Okay, so without further ado, you know what? I do want to check. I wanted to also stream on Insta, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to accomplish that. So let me see if it worked. And bear with me for just a moment. I don't know. I don't know whether it's working or not. Insta is always a mystery to me, but neither here or there. For those of you who are here, happy New Year. Again, as I was stating a little bit earlier, just wanted to take a look at the P and Ls. And so here is what I'm looking for 2023, and a lot of it has not changed, honestly. But when it comes to assessing and identifying a property to invest in for short-term rentals, I am going to use my old method of finding the occupancy rate for a market. So if I'm breaking into a new market and I do not quite know whether or not the market is going to be a viable market for short term rentals, the first thing that I do is I look to see whether or not the occupancy rate is at 50% or higher. And if it is, then I can kind of tick that off, or that'll be a part of my checklist. I check that off as okay. It's at the occupancy rate is at 50% or higher. What that tells me is that there is a travel need in that area. If it's like 30% or 20%, something like that, then it's going to be really difficult to overcome that unless you're going to be doing a lot of marketing and you fully understand what is going on in that particular market. So keep that in mind, especially if you're just getting started. Okay. So occupancy rate 50% or higher is huge. And the way I find that out, let me see if I can go into incognito mode. Let me see if I can share screens. Hmm, let's see. And feel free to add your questions if you have any. I wonder how to share screens using this. Ah, ha ha ha. All right. It says to share screen. Let's see. Boom. I think I got it. Okay. Awesome. All right. So I'm in incognito mode. I'm going to Google AirDNA Rentalizer. Okay, and so when I Google AirDNA Rentalizer, notice that the AirDNA tool is on top. Sometimes other competitors are ranking higher. So if it's an ad, I typically skip over the ad and I just go to the airdna.co. And right in here, you can go ahead and add the address. Like for instance, let's say, I think I had an address I was looking at the other day on Zillow. You can put your home address if you just want to give it a test drive, or you can enter an address of a location that you're actually interested in, you know? And so let me see something in Positano. A girl can dream, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, I did Positano, and there's an address in Naples, Florida for Positano, interestingly enough. Okay, so this appears to be like a two-bedroom space, two-bedroom, a two bath. And so here's my rule of thumb: uh, 3 to 4 people per bathroom, typically, depending on the footprint of the property. So, 2 bathrooms, then we can say sleeps six, has the potential to sleep six, or has the potential to sleep eight. It just depends. Okay. So this wants me to log in. Let's see. Let me add in. Well, yeah, you may need to log in. Let's add Pumpkin's email.com. I'm not sure if any of these are going to be correct. Oh, it wants me to go through the whole thing. Let's do that. Okay, let's see if that works. How would you describe yourself as a host? So I'm going to create an account. I'll say this is Pumpkin's account. So you just want to use the free version for now. You do not need to use the paid version until you're going to add something to escrow. Okay. Oh, it says it already exists. Darn it. Okay, so let's see if I can log in that way. Okay, there we go. All right. So what we're looking for is really the occupancy rate. And I know a lot of people are hung up on the annual revenue, the average daily rate, but my goal is to assess the occupancy rate. And so that is very, very important to me. And the fact that it's over 50% to me, that's already um, a good sign. And that is what I'm looking for when I say occupancy rate. Okay. All right, so let me stop sharing my screen for a moment and get on a tiny little soapbox if you wouldn't mind. Very, very important. I want you to also understand the regulations for that particular area. So I'm on just say no to HOA girl, but I do have my caveats. And My caveats are related to what the HOA can provide. Okay. So, for instance, if the HOA is there to collect funds for amazing resort style amenities, yes, I'm here for it. But two things must be true in order for me to invest in an area with an HOA. Number one, there are resort style amenities, amazing wave pool, tennis, let's see, a boat slip, for instance. So, all of the things I'm looking for that in order to say, okay, it makes sense for me to invest in an area with an HOA. Now, the other thing that I am looking for is the number of properties that are short term rentals within that specific subdivision. So, for instance, if there are 20 properties in that subdivision and 10 of them or so are short term rentals, I am here for it. So, those are the types of properties that I would consider investing in if, in fact, there is an HOA. Okay. Otherwise, just say no to HOAs, okay? So I hope that helps. So regulations are absolutely key when it comes to understanding short-term rentals. Now, the next thing I want to do is look at the overall seasonality of a market. If it is highly seasonal, I'm gonna I'm going to shy away a little bit from that. And here's why. I want to be able to rent out my short term rental 365 days of the year, so it is risky business when we go into areas that are only, say, a ski lodge area where you can rent it out like 2 or 3 months out of the year. I am not really a proponent for that. So I highly recommend you finding areas that have a low seasonality rate rather, so that you have an opportunity to rent out that property year round. Okay. The other thing I look at is market growth. So, how many properties are now listed as short-term rentals this year compared to last year? I want to see a growth in that number, but I also want to see a like type of growth in the revenue that is generated for that particular market. So, if for instance there's a whole lot of growth, but the revenue is kind of stabilized, stagnant, reduced, I may not be interested in that market, because what it's telling me is not necessarily there's a huge demand. It's telling me that there's potentially saturation. Okay. And I hear everyone saying saturation, saturation, saturation. Saturation is not just a, one pronged parameter. You need to understand that saturation is really scientific. It's an economic term, and I don't pretend to be an economist, nor do I play one on TV. But if the number of listings increase or the number of products increase in that market, and then the revenue increases simultaneously, that tells us that there is a demand in that market. So I'm excited about that. So those are the first few things that I'm looking at in terms of what types of properties or markets that we're looking to invest in. And that is the high level overview, but there's like a 5 step framework. So that was kind of an overview of step one. We do a lot of calculations. We do a lot of underwriting inside of the program. It's based on past P&Ls that we've leveraged, and we've created calculators specifically to underwrite our properties 3, 4, 5 different ways because the revenue is generated at the purchase point. We want to make sure that we're purchasing the right properties before we pull the trigger, right? There's nothing like really understanding your numbers before you pull the trigger. It is such a confidence boost. Okay. All right. So, for those of you who are just joining, my name is Dr. Rachel Gainsborough. I am a luxury short term rental host and investor in the Southeast area for the most part. And today, I just wanted to jump in and share with you guys my short-term rental success formula for 2023. Typically, I do a training on Tuesday nights, but I will be in Cabo this Tuesday, and so there will be no training this week. But we're going to be hitting the ground running next week where we're going to start going over funding, and we're just going to go through the whole life cycle of what to do first, and then what to do next, and then what to do next, and then what to do next. Okay. So, very, very important that you understand how to analyze properties before you get in. I really want you to feel confident. I really want to demystify. What the numbers are looking like. I want to encourage my community stop living off of hopium. We're not going to hope, that these properties are going to perform. We're going to go all in knowing our numbers, and we're going to say yes to the properties that make sense and absolutely no to properties that do not make sense. Okay. All right. Next step, understanding your budget. Okay, so the first step for those of you who just joined, I went over like I want to say about three key things that I look at when I am going into a new market. Okay, the market aspect of it. Again, that was occupancy, 50% or higher, low seasonality, as well as market growth, which is opposite of saturation, right? So that's phase one. Phase two, okay, I'm looking at my particular budget and what my particular goals are. Because here's the deal, not all investors are created equal. Okay, I see a few people say hello, hello, and happy new year. Hi, Dimitri. It is so good to meet you. I'm so happy to have found you too. Oh my gosh. That is so sweet of you. And then I see someone who is saying happy new year. And it is Facebook user. Facebook user, thank you so much for joining me. Unfortunately, I can't see your name. So if you're on Facebook and you just said Happy New Year, I want to know your name. So let me know your name. You could just type it in the chat or go to like the lower third. I have something written there, chat.restream.io, chat.restream.io, and that should do the trick. Give them permission. That way I can see your name and I can interact with you. Okay. So, yeah, guys, so I don't typically do this on Sunday nights. But I said, let me jump in here because I will be in Cabo this Tuesday. So our trainings are usually on Tuesdays, which I'm super, super excited about. We have a really amazing lineup for you for this year. And I just can't wait to dive right in. But I said, let me come on in on Sunday night and give the people some information because I know a lot of you are mapping out what you intend to do for this upcoming year, and I want to make sure that you have, the wheels turning, some of the things that you need to be thinking about because we just finished a few of our P&Ls for some of our properties, and I just wanted to make sure that once all is said and done, I can give you guys a rundown on what we're looking for in our investment strategy for 2023. We're making some tweaks, but I kid you not, we're going to stay the course. Okay, so awesome. So go to chat.restream.io and then click like put that in your browser, and then it should ask you for permission or something like that. Let me see. Let me see. Chat.restream.io. I think I'm gonna give it a go myself to see chat.restream.io/Facebook. And once you do that, you put that in your browser, it should ask you something about permissions. Okay, there it is. Okay, so you want to allow Restream to show my name. Click on allow reset. Ooh, okay, there. Perfect, Lachey. I see you. Yes, it did work. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so that is amazing. All right, all right. So the next part, guys, come back to me if you're multitasking because I think this is going to be the most important part of this conversation. Okay. So, for those of you who are here with us, say hello. I really want to know exactly where I am streaming because I wanted to stream in all the places, but I'm having like that little anxiousness that it's not working everywhere. So, let me know. Oh my gosh. Oh, Lachey says the midterm rental class was amazing. Thank you, Lachey. Look, I just poured my whole life out into that. Oh my goodness. I poured and poured and poured into it. And I want to make sure that no question was left unanswered, Lachey. So I am so happy that you got to participate in the midterm rental class. And so that is going to be a part of, I would say, the fifth pillar of my investing strategy. So thank you for bringing that up. For those of you who are just joining and who do not know about my midterm rental class, it is actually the replay, which has been so impactful and has helped multiple students generate five figures within a month of taking the course. It is on sale right now, and the sale ends tonight. And let me go ahead and pop that in there for you. So the sale ends tonight. All you need to go do is go to shorttermgems.com/learn with Rachel. And let me actually do a quick little screen share. Let's see, where's my incognito? There. Let me share that there. Yeah. Learn with Rachel. And then once you do that, okay, cool. I'll show you. Okay, you can go to shorttermgems.com, go to learn with Rachel. Once you do that, look, goodbye 22 goodbye 22 is the coupon code, okay? And here it is right here, the six-figure midterm rental workshop, the six-figure midterm rental workshop. And so you can go ahead and grab it here. It is absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness. If you were to go to this link right here, oh, uh-oh. Okay, all the audio was on. But yeah, it is absolutely amazing. It's on sale. Just use the code goodbye 22. I think I spelled that correctly. Yeah, 22% off. Okay. But that ends tonight at midnight. I kid you not. It was so good. And Lachey, thank you so much for bringing that up. I thought it was amazing. I just wanted to provide all of the members of the community the information they needed to launch your midterm rental. And it has been a game changer for us. And I know it's going to help a lot of people as well. So grab that. And I'm so glad you were able to go through it. It is a lot. And you would need to go through it again. As soon as the insurance company reaches out to you, go through the training one more time and then piece it out, because it's one thing when you have the information in mind, right? But as soon as they reach out, I kid you not, members are like, what do I do? Because it is hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. So you definitely want to go through it again and download all of the assets, the templates, the proposals, the counter offer, to make sure that you are getting top dollar, because they are going to try to lowball you. So thank you so much for mentioning that. Yes, I really wanted to make sure it was just a really high value bit of content. Okay, so again, guys, we went over the first pillar. Now, pillar number 2 is going to be like your personal financial goal, your personal budget. Okay, so for me, when I was starting out, okay, because my husband is one of those reluctant spouses, he was extremely hesitant with us going into short term rentals. He's like, okay, he's a psychotherapist, I'm a pharmacist. Like, what are we doing with this real estate stuff? Like, we don't know what we're doing, right? And so he was very, very hesitant. I had since taken a coaching course on, investing in real estate, understanding the numbers, and all of that, but he did not want to really over leverage and really be risky. He comes from the buy everything cash, mindset. And so for him, I had to kind of hedge and make sure that as we were investing, it was going to be something that he would be comfortable with. Okay. I finally told him, let me just let me give it a try. Let me give this thing a try. And so he went along with it. And today, I got to tell you, my threshold for investing is much higher than back then. So understanding where you are, do you have a spouse? Do you have a budget? Do you have a W-2? Do you not have a W-2? How much do you have in savings? Okay. So for me, the homes that are winning, when I'm looking at our P&L, and this is like the framework, when we were first starting, our goal was to invest in properties of 400K or less. Okay, 400,000 or less was the threshold. Now it's almost double that. Okay, but for those of you who are just starting and who may have some of those bottlenecks or concerns, put your number somewhere. Put your number where you're comfortable, right? So say your number is 400K. or less. Okay. But there are so many caveats that come with this. Don't go into a neighborhood where the average home price is your 200,000 and you're trying to, create something that or purchase something that's 500,000 or 800,000. Just be really, really mindful of that. I've seen a few fix and flippers who have been hurt by like over renovating, so just be really mindful of that, because that particular market may have an appetite for just 300,000 or 400,000. But if you're in an ultra luxury market or an upscale market or a standard luxury or a high end market, there are so many layers of luxury, and you go in, all the houses are 1.2 million, 20 million, and you're able to, slip in and find a property for 600K. Yeah, that is amazing. Okay. So everything I'm saying here is going to be kind of, there are caveats associated with it. But just bear in mind what your threshold number is. Okay. I like properties that are 700K and under. Okay. And I'm just telling you my format of how I'm going to be investing for 2023. 700K and under. I like properties that can generate me anywhere from 250 to, there's no ceiling, 250 at the least. 250 is my average daily rate per night. Okay. And I get that number through analyzing markets. So I'll use AirDNA, which I demoed a little bit earlier. I'll use Data Rabu. I'll use Price Labs. I'll use RankBreeze, a number of different data tools to assess how much I can generate per night on average. And so 250 is the floor for me in terms of how much I'm wanting to generate per night. Additionally, I'm looking to get uh, about 20%, I would say, gross ROI, and that's on an annual basis. Okay. And that's going to include a number of things. So for my 20% of gross ROI, that's going to include, say, the revenue that is generated. Okay. So the revenue, the cash that's generated, additionally, the equity, and additionally, the tax benefits. Okay. And so I look at all of those, and where we're able to move the needle significantly is with the tax benefits, the bonus depreciation, the cost segregation studies. And so with those levers, when we pull those levers, what we're able to generate, I would say, on our lowest ROI over the last year or two was 40% gross ROI. Okay, we've seen as high as 80% to 200% of gross ROI, leveraging, accelerating the depreciation on a property and offsetting our W 2 income. Okay, so cash, equity, tax benefits. I want that to yield me over 20% gross ROI at the minimum, and that's really where we are able to assess whether or not, our property is a property is viable for us. A property, we want to take property into consideration. Okay. Another thing is I like to leverage lending products that allow me to put as little down as possible. Now, granted, I have members inside of our mastermind community who are older and they want to put down as much money as possible so that they can have a lower monthly payment, and I fully honor that. But for me, I'm all about the 10% down. And one of the resources that we have inside of the Learn with Rachel page, all the bundles that are on sale, is the Funding Super PAC. And so with the Funding Super PAC, what I did is I collected the interviews from some of the top lenders in the market. I created a list of, I think, 17 or so of the top STR lenders. And additionally, I created or I shared, a training on the different ways that members of our community were able to close on over $10 million worth of property over the last several months, using different strategies to come up with down payments as well as to fund their properties. Okay, so everyone's different. My attorneys want me to let you guys know I'm not a financial advisor. Of course, connect with your financial advisor in order to make the right decisions. But your funding stack, how you're funding your property, really, really does matter. And so keep that into consideration. So for me, it's the 10% down loans all day, every day. And once I've exhausted those loans, I then move over to a DSCR loan or a bank statement loan. And all of that is part of the funding super PAC as well. All right. So the next thing I'm looking at is cash flow. Cash flow is king. The higher the cash flow, the better. And so I'm going to remove my little lower third there. So the higher the cash flow, the better. Okay. So the good thing is, guys, I am seeing um, a lot of interactions with Facebook, Facebook, which is great. I'm not seeing anything come in on the YouTube front or LinkedIn or any of the other places. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. Let me see. I want to make sure if anyone has any questions on those other platforms to please feel free to go ahead and ask. I am happy to respond. But hopefully, so far, so good. Hopefully, you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. All right. So the next thing is cash flow, guys. And so already I have mentioned that we underwrite our properties 4 or 5 different ways. Okay, we want to make sure that we're sure that we're sure that we're sure that we're sure on the amount of revenue we should expect per month. So when all is said and done, we want to we want to make sure that we can expect what we're expecting for revenue is what we're getting, if not better. Okay. So there are expenses that are expected and expenses that do come up that are unexpected as well. And so we hedge based on prior year's performances and prior year's issues. And I'm looking at my P&L here. And so things that, aren't our regular payments, but they do creep up are power washing, So we have our spring cleaning and we have a fall cleaning, we have snow care, power wash, we had a septic thing that happened, we have hot tub maintenance, which is a regular payment. We had a cancellation due to an extenuating circumstance. We had one refund. No, actually, we had 2 refunds. I don't like refunds, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So these are all things that you want to hedge for and make sure that you're taking into account as well. And so I'm just looking at these off of our profits and loss statements. And it gives us a good picture. It gives us a realistic picture of what we're able to generate by the end of the year. And of course, your debt service, right? How much is it that you borrowed and how much you owe? But also, we're able to leverage a lot of the tax benefits that are available to us. So, really, really excited about that. Okay, so cash flow for me, cash flow, the higher the better, the higher the better. And I actually select properties that are going to provide me some some amazing cash flow. Okay, but say and I'm going to grab my calculator. So this particular property, calculator. Okay. So the mortgage for this one that I'm looking at right here, how many rooms? Okay, this one has a private pool. We got a good deal on it with a hot tub. This was back in 2019 when we purchased this one. It was occupied for 215 nights. It generated 134,000 this past year. Let's see, past year. So one second. The gross was 134K this past year. Net was 83K. 83K was net. Okay. So when all is said and done, the take home was 83K. But you got to take into consideration we had about 11,000 in expenses in a particular category, but the debt service is not included in that calculation. So the actual mortgage is 1,800. Like I said, we got a good deal on that. So 83K minus the 21,600 nets us 61,400, and that's about a $5,000 per month uh, of cash flow. So 5K in cash flow per month, I'm here for it. Okay. So remember, if the cash flow is similar to what cash flow would be for a long term rental, I'm looking like strategically, I'm looking closely at that. I am not interested if the cash flow is similar to long term rental cash flow. Okay. So please bear that in mind. You're looking for STR cash flow. So I would say it just depends on the level of investment, but anything lower than 1,500 per month. uh, but remember, if long-term rental, if you can get 1,500 per month cash flow long-term rental, you're better off just doing LTR and really monitoring that situation, because I have seen so many LTRs go wrong where the tenant does not properly take care of the property. You're not doing your customary, professional cleans between stays, multiple professional cleans per month. The maintenance isn't being looked at. So with LTRs, there is a high risk of the property being turned over to you in a state where you need to do like a full renovation. So bear that in mind. But if in that market you can get a cash flow of 1,500 as an LTR and 1,500 as an STR, go the LTR route, right? Just lower, your level of effort. However, if that market, the cash flow is like $300 as an LTR and STR is $1,500, 1,500 is much better. I like higher than that. I like much higher than that. Like you just saw in my example, 5K of cash flow is amazing, but I think 1,500 is the lowest I would be willing to go. And it would really have to be a property that I see a potential for other opportunities as well. Okay, because there are ways that you can pull different levers in order to generate more revenue with the property. All right, so that was pillar number two. This was, by the way, going to be a quick 15-minute training. I have already doubled my time here, but I do have the gift for gab. I hope that those of you who are with me, you're able to drop questions that you have, and I'm actually going to look and see if there are any questions that I am missing out on. Because I kind of feel, you ever feel like that weird feeling like, something may be happening that I'm not aware of. And I do feel like there are questions being asked that I'm not seeing. So that is kind of concerning for me because I want to make sure that I address those questions while we are here. Okay. I'm going to go into incognito real quick one more time and see. Maybe there are questions in the YouTube channel or some of the other places. So, for those of you who are still watching on Facebook, feel free to drop any questions that you have. I am happy to answer them for you while we are here together. I will not be going live on this Tuesday. I know I go live every Tuesday to train on short term rentals or to interview an amazing guest for STR, but I will not be going live this Tuesday, unfortunately. But fortunately, I will be in Cabo. And so I did want to still come in here and bring you all the juicy information as to what I intend to do with my investing strategy for 2023. I don't leave my people hanging. So that's why I'm here on a Sunday night, just trying to impart upon you all of the information, guys. Okay. All right. So let's see here. I'm still looking. I do have I don't see my cheat sheet. Hang on. Okay, there it is. I think I just found my cheat sheet for the other social media platforms. Okay, I'm looking here to see. Okay, yay. All right, I see Lachey. Imani, Happy New Year. Now I see your name. Awesome. Okay, so I can see people's names now. Okay, fantastic. Super, super excited. All right, so I see some folks on LinkedIn as well. Okay, so Instagram says I'm live, but oh, I see Alex. Hello, Alex. It is so good to see everyone. Okay, I do see that I'm live in all the places. Yay, but I don't see any questions. All right, so I don't see any additional questions on those platforms. So, yay. Okay. Oh, Dimitri has a question. Dimitri says, okay, thank you for taking the time to do this Q&A. Not sure if I should save this question for the group. I'm in the process of setting up my first short-term rental, so I'm trying to find out the best sheets to use. Ooh, specifics would be appreciated. So, Dimitri, take a look at my list. I have a shopping kit. Let me see. I'm going to show you guys some of the resources that you may or may not be aware of, because sharing is caring. Am I right? I think so. I think sharing is caring. And I'm so excited that you're setting up. So, Dimitri, let me know, where is it that you are setting up your first short term rental? Let us know. Okay. So, I have a page of links. So Rachel's links, if you go there, so shorttermgyms.com, you go to Rachel's links, uh, and I've got you covered. So these are my, where is that? Oh, shopping kit for STRs. So go to shopping kit for STRs. Okay. And you're going to be sent to this page here. And once you're here, you'll see, my list as well as the links associated. And these are all the Amazon types of shopping kits. So I have a kit for the greenery, the entertainment. I have one for entertainment and the things that I like to use from Amazon. But as far as for sheets, to be honest, I like using Host GPO the best. And they have a set of sheets called Standard Textile. And because of an agreement with them, I can't share screens on what they have going on. But Host GPO, they use a vendor called Standard Textile. Standard Textile is not the softest sheet, but what I like about it is that it is hotel and hospitality grade linen. So, meaning um, you can, like, it's double sided, it's pre washed. So, it's got a lot of advantages to using that standard textile. That is one set of sheets that I like to use for my upscale, but for my ultra luxury, I like using Brooklinen. So bear that in mind, okay? Brooklinen is a softer sheet. It's high quality as well, but it is pricier, okay? So I'll use it for my ultra luxury and my luxury. However, if I'm hosting a midterm rental family, then I break out, the other sheets, my standard textile. What's been great about the standard textile, though, it lasts forever. When we first started with our short-term rental journey, we were using like Target sheets and Costco sheets, and they're pretty nice, right? But they, within less than a year, we had to replace them. So I would definitely recommend hospitality grade linens for sure. Okay, so yeah, feel free to grab that list and have at it. Hopefully, you find something in there that's useful. And again, you can just go to shorttermgyms.com And once you look at the tab, you'll see Rachel's links. And so those are some of my favorite things. So I hope that helps. Oh, San Antonio. Oh, awesome, Dimitri. San Antonio. I was just speaking with someone the other day about San Antonio. I forgot what we were saying about it, but that is so exciting and massive congratulations to you on taking action. Yeah, so today we're actually setting up another property a little bit earlier today. And so I've been playing around with some of my metrics, setting up the pricing and all of that, which is also important when you're first getting started for sure. Okay. All right. So guys, we've covered the two of the five pillars, and I would say they were some of the most robust. The next three are going to go super, super fast. Okay. So pillar number three for me, it is the advanced tax strategies. And inside of the Luxury Short-Term Rental Academy, the program that I have for other busy professionals, doctors and engineers, and all those who are looking to leverage a short-term rental. Inside of the academy, we have one of our coaches is a tax strategist coach. The goal of having that coach inside the program is to give us the latest and the greatest information as it relates to how to best position ourselves to success in our short-term rental journey. So one of the biggest pieces of our STR Success Formula, and what we saw really that made the difference in 2022, and I know it's going to make the difference in 2023 as well, is leveraging those advanced tax strategies, guys. Cost segregation studies, accelerated depreciation, 1031 exchange, being finding properties that are in tax friendly states as well. You know, taxes are such a huge, huge pillar. Devin, hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Oh my goodness. So excited to see you here. We're talking short-term rental success formula for 2023. And so we're on pillar number three out of five. And so again, pillar number three is your taxes. Okay. Find the best tax professional that you can to provide you these tax strategies, because I have members who came into the community who have advised me that their tax strategists, their CPAs telling them that what we're doing, what we're talking about, it's not something that's done, it's not possible. And so it is possible. You have to work with the right real estate tax professional. That makes all the difference in the world. Okay. Do not leave money on the table by not taking advantage of your tax benefits. Okay. So even yesterday, the 31st, I was going through and seeing what else I needed to do real quick in 2022 to make sure all of the taxes have been offset for the most part, because that is a strategy that we're leveraging right now. Again, tax strategy for 2023, that is one of the biggest pillars of our success for 22, and that is what we're going to continue to push for 2023. So in 2022, we got to take advantage of 100% bonus depreciation. That is not going to be available in 23. It's down to 80% bonus depreciation due to a cost segregation study. Then it's going to be 60% in 24, and it's going to finally be phased out. Okay, so take advantage. 80% is not 100%. I fully understand and recognize that, but it is better than 0%. Okay, and so I'm not a tax professional, but I know you need one in your life. So get a good tax professional in your life. Again, cost segregation study, accelerated depreciation, 1031 exchanges. We did 1031 exchanges to get bigger and better properties, and looking at investing in tax friendly states. Those are really, really important. Okay. All right. Pillar number four. Pillar number four. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Is it nit and gritty? Nitty gritty. Oh boy, English. English is like straight up my third language, guys. So bear with me. Okay, so pillar number four. Okay, so again, what I'm talking about today, guys, is my strategy, how I'm selecting properties. Okay, so if I have two properties, property A and B, I put them against each other. I'm looking for certain parameters to be met in order for me to want to move forward. So if a property has a unique or an Instagrammable type of uh feature or a feel, I am here for it. Okay. So those are some of the things that we're looking for when it comes to a luxury short-term rental. Curb appeal, curb appeal, curb appeal. And what I mean by that is the property doesn't have to, have an arborist or its own like landscaper that's dedicated to it. I'm going to take a sip. Thank you. But what I mean by curb appeal is as you're driving through the entire neighborhood or the entire area, is the property one that is surrounded by homes that are well kept, surrounded by homes that are taken care of? So these are the things that are very, very important for you to be able to leverage and market a property as a luxury short-term rental. Okay. So curb appeal is oh so very important. Make sure that as you're looking at this property, you're looking at the surrounding neighborhood. If it looks sketch or sus or intimidating, there is going to be a lot of difficulty marketing this property as a luxury short-term rental. Don't do it. Okay. Do not try to make something up. Do not try to, turn this one property into like the Taj Mahal where the neighboring properties are just struggling. There are cars on the lawn, all of that. That is not going to work. That is not going to work. Okay. So, curb appeal, we're looking at that. We're looking at creating those unique experiences. We're looking at Instagrammable moments. We're looking at properties that have an aspect of adventure to it, whether it's near a ski lodge or if it's near a lake or, those types of properties, or even if it's near a national park or a major attraction, something like that. So already you're probably thinking Disney, you're probably thinking, the Poconos or, Vail, Colorado. So those types of properties that have an adventure aspect to it are winners to us as well. And I did see that Airbnb is going to be I think leveraging or providing like millions, tens of millions of dollars to hosts who are looking to create some type of adventure unique stay. I don't know if you guys saw the OMG. Uh, and I saw Tony Robinson talking about that a little bit earlier, actually, the OMG category of Airbnb. Let me see if I can find that for you guys real quick because I thought that was really, really interesting. I think it's worth it to take a look at that because um, some of you, maybe sitting on a piece of land that you can leverage for a unique stay like that. And I just think it's really, really important that if you have that opportunity to go for it, right? So I'm looking to share because I do want to share that. OMG, I think it's worth it to have a. There we go. Okay, there we go. And I wonder why I'm like kind of like this little. There we go. Okay, so I'm side by side now. Okay, that works. I'm not like at the bottom, but I'm to the side. But anyway, if you take a look, guys, at the different categories, they're here. So for the OMG category, this is the specific category that Airbnb is looking to fund owners or hosts who intend on creating a unique state. So this is like this train situation. Oh my gosh, right? I like how it has the board and batten in here. Isn't that hilarious? Look at the little lighting. So this is part of the ONG category. Oh, look at this. This is interesting as well. And I'll just kind of go through. So this one's called the caboose. Yeah, OMG indeed. So this is a yurt. Like that's a fancy yurt, right? Usually the yurts, I think of them as those domes. Look at this Broadway looking. This looks like a straight up Hobbit home. Is it like a geo? You know how those homes are built underneath the ground and they don't need like HVAC or anything like that? Not quite, but almost. Let's see if the hosts say anything about it. Blue Ridge Mountains, secluded Hobbit house. I mean, seriously, right? So the OMG, this is a straight up boat. Yeah, this one right here is a trip. $161 a night. And of course, guys, I hope you guys don't look at that price and think this is the final price. This is typically clickbait. But yeah, so for those of you who are sitting on a piece of land where you're zoned in a way that's like you can do all the things, right? Zoned commercial, residential, or mixed use, mostly commercial or mixed use, probably. And it just depends. Oh my gosh, little pigs. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's a whole situation. All right. Oh my gosh, this looks intense. Yee! These little round things kind of give me the heebie-jeebies, but yeah, this is yeah. So guys, the OMG category for those of you who are thinking of building, say a treehouse, you may not have to go all the way all out. Look at these. This reminds me of Wool. It's a sci-fi book. So this is just going to sit out here and these domes. Kind of interesting, right guys? What do you guys think of these? So again, for those of you who have a piece of land that you own that is zoned mixed use, oh my goodness, did they just put a car? They did. All right. Just when you thought you've seen it all, right? Oh my gosh. This is hilarious in Asheville. Guys, I am here for it. And this is why I absolutely love short term rentals. So much opportunity here. Just super, super cool. All right. So, yeah. So, for those of you who have a piece of land, hey, take advantage. This is the year to take advantage. I know for us, we are, although I don't encourage new construction, we are in the middle of a new construction project. So, don't do what I say. Don't do what I say, don't do what I do as I say kind of thing, right? But yeah, it was a really a series of fortunate events that got us there. So we're super excited about that. Okay, so guys, so that was pillar number 4. Again, pillar number 1, guys. Let me just do a high level of review: the market, understanding the market, seasonality, market growth versus saturation, as well as occupancy. That was pillar number 1. Pillar number 2, understanding your budget, understanding your appetite for risk. If you have a spouse or a partner or significant other, understanding their appetite as well, understanding what your goal is. Are you looking for the highest as possible cash on cash, or are you looking to put as much money down? So this is where it gets really custom. It's going to be specific to what your needs are. Okay. I may, in my latter years, purchase something that doesn't have the highest cash flow if it's a property that I absolutely love for whatever reason, right? But right now, since I'm young, I'm buying properties and building properties that are going to give me the highest possible cash flow. Okay. And the highest possible cash on cash return. And that is achieved by putting as little down as possible. That is my strategy. It is not for everyone. So definitely consult with your financial advisor and understand where your tolerance is for that type of risk. And of course, underwriting that property at least 3 different types of ways. Okay. Pillar number 3 was our tax strategies. We went over that. Pillar number 4 is the actual property. We want to make sure it's Instagrammable. We want to make sure that it is in an area that has great curb appeal. If there's a uniqueness factor to it, even better. A backyard where we can create a unique state is going to be huge in certain markets. Just understanding what the demand is for that particular market. And number 5. Okay, so this is kind of going back. I did talk a little bit about regulatory, but I'm going to go back to it. So, pillar number 5 is going to be the legal and the risk mitigation side of things. So, favorable regulations, of course, is going to be key. All right, so I want an area where there is a line in the sand of these are the roads and streets and communities and there's an interstate between where you can short-term rent in specific markets and where you can't. I like those types of areas because I know exactly where I can buy, and I know exactly where I'm not going to be buying. You know what I mean? So it's well thought out, well planned out. I do have properties in areas where the regulations are not quite set in stone yet, and that's okay too. But my favorite are the areas where it is like, you know, crystal clear. Okay. Um, Another thing that I mentioned a little bit earlier, tax-friendly states. I like that. I like those areas as well. Um, I like to have properties in a diverse number of markets. So, say we get struck by a hurricane, well, we have the properties up north that do not encounter hurricanes. They may encounter a snowstorm. So it's like, on any given day, we're still up and running. We have some properties in the suburban area that are inland that do not encounter a lot of these natural disasters that are typically predictable. Okay, so I look at that. And about the property specifically, I do list on multiple platforms. I know that's a thing where, um, a lot of people are very much, I'm just going to do this platform or I'm just going to do that platform. I list on multiple platforms. Okay, so uh, and last but not least, midterm rentals. I love, love, love a good property where I can leverage a midterm rental strategy. And again, Lachey, when she joined a little bit earlier today, she says that the midterm rental class that we had was absolutely amazing. And I so appreciate that feedback because it was a live workshop that I delivered. And if you hadn't seen Ruben's testimonial yet, Ruben stated that within 30 days, he was able to secure a $40,000 contract for this workshop that at the time I was charging under 2K for it. No, 2,400 for it, and he got a coupon. So it was $2,400. He paid, he attended, and then next thing you know, he had the tools that he needed to negotiate a $40,000 contract with an insurance company. So, guys, for me, I am going to continue to double down on my midterm rental strategy, and I'm looking for properties that are going to fit that bill. And I go into the types of properties that are going to make great midterm rentals inside of the course because it's so important for me to have that strategy as a part of my um, ROE, not just ROI, ROE, return on effort. With my midterm rentals, the return on effort is amazing. Typically, my guests stay with us anywhere from 4 months to 12 months in our midterm rentals, but we're still getting short-term rental revenue because and this is going to be different than anything you've heard from any of the coaches out there. When you hear midterm rental, you're already thinking most likely travel nurses that stay with you from 1 month to 13 weeks. That's usually their contract. My sister's a travel nurse, so I know. However, no, I do not host travel nurses since our properties are larger. We go for the larger homes. We host luxury homeowners who are displaced from their home due to a mishap. Eh, Say a tree has fallen on their property, or a pipe has busted, or there's a fire. I don't know why there are so many fires, but there's a fire, and the property is destroyed, or a percentage of the property is destroyed. The insurance agencies' pockets are so deep. In 2021, they had a surplus of over $1 trillion in premiums, and so we tap into this strategy like gangbusters. Okay, so this is a strategy that we are so excited about, and we have been hosting midterm rental, I guess, since 2019. And if you go to Bigger Pockets, you'll see the article I published in 2019 after we hosted our first midterm rental guest. And I mentioned that it is one of the secrets that no one's talking about. And so I've been talking about it since then. I've been kind of dripping it, but I've been a big proponent for it this year. So midterm rental strategy, guys, I am going all in on my midterm rental strategy. And thank you again, Lachey, for sharing about this your experience with the course. And for those of you who are wanting some more information on it, just go to our site, shorttermgyms.com/learn with Rachel. It is on sale, but the sale ends at midnight. Goodbye, 22. This is the lowest you're ever going to get this for. I really, really hope you can catch it while it's on sale. It has never been this low. And here's why, because some of you who are watching this later, you're going to come at me tomorrow or the day after or the day after asking for the sale. I am so sorry. I will be out of the country. And so please do your due diligence, grab that. I laid it all the workshop was not pre-scripted. I just poured everything out. I just poured everything out step by baby step as to exactly what the process looks like as soon as the midterm rental temporary housing agency reaches out to you, because I, of course, show you how to get them to reach out to you. As soon as they reach out to you, as soon as the homeowner reaches out to you, because you're going to get two-prong attack and it's going to be a hurry up and wait. It grieves me to see all the people who are leaving these contracts by the way, so who are missing out on the contract because they don't know exactly how to negotiate to get the deal done. You got to get the deal done. You know, one of the things I say inside of the workshop, because it was a live workshop and members are asking questions, I got grilled, guys. I got grilled because guess what? This workshop was supposed to be a 2 hour for 2 days, so 4 hours. I think we stayed 3 hours one day and 4 hours the next day because I said there will be no question that goes unanswered. I want to make sure every single question was answered, and I got grilled. So step by baby step, it's a lot of information. Plus, I attach all of my resources, every single one, the lease that I leverage, and it's going to be state specific, of course. My communication template to make sure that you get the deal done, my proposal, my counter proposal, as well as my email marketing templates to reach out and to continue to stay top of mind for these midterm rental temporary housing agents. Okay, so super excited about my midterm rental workshop, and I just can't wait to get it in as many hands as possible because our professional, people are busy. Okay, people are busy. The funding super pack as well is on sale. Just use the goodbye 22 if you want that. I shared a little bit of what I do with AirDNA, but I have like a 4 hour workshop of me going all in, going really deep with AirDNA. That's on sale as well. One of the members who went through it, they say they've never seen AirDNA used the way that I use it before. And we do have a global access to AirDNA, which is pricey. But all you would need is the one or two markets that you are looking to invest in, which should be anywhere around 30 or 90 bucks a month. But the one that we use is about 900 bucks a month because we're buying property. We're in acquisition mode. Okay. Yeah. So definitely check those out, guys. Go to shorttermgyms.com. You can scroll on the top tabs. You're looking for Learn with Rachel. Use the code Goodbye22 if you want to grab that. And again, I did receive some questions about the midterm rentals. So the midterm rentals are primarily for those who already have a short-term rental that they want to leverage as a midterm rental, or who already have a long-term rental that they want to leverage as a midterm rental. So it does go into a training on how to find the right properties for a midterm rental. It goes into the types of markets that we look at for midterm rentals. And unfortunately, disasters are happening everywhere. So that continues to need to be updated. And so I go in and I update that as well. I include a calculator that I created for midterm rentals, because when the temporary housing agency they come at you, they are going to give you the price that they want to give you, but you need to know how to calculate how much your property is worth as furnished temporary housing that is fully equipped. And of course, if you take my workshop, your house will be fully equipped, because that is how you generate the revenue. If you give them a home that is not furnished, you might as well just long term rent it, you're not going to get that much for it. And that is one of the keys to the midterm rental strategy for the temporary housing insurance guest. Okay. All right. So let me just jump in here. I see a few questions. Okay. So Lachey is asking, Lachey says, from a tax standpoint, does it make sense to buy a property and do a midterm rental since it's the beginning of the year and then buy a home for an STR towards the end? Would you still be able to reach material participation with at least one property? I love that question, Lachey, and that is exactly what we do towards the end of the year. We purchase our property as an STR. We make sure that we get our depreciation, our bonus depreciation, and then that same property we can convert it into a midterm rental. So that is what we do. Personally, I see where you're going with your question. Yeah, take that into consideration for sure. I love what you're actually looking to do, but I am going to get my bonus depreciation before I position it into a midterm rental. So if it means, you know, buying it at the end of the year, or if it means waiting it out and using it as an STR for the year, creating my systems to make sure it's successful, I want my bonus depreciation. I want my 80% bonus depreciation above all else. And then I position it as a midterm rental. Okay. So I hope that helps some. I don't feel like it was completely clear, but hopefully it helps. All right, let's see. Next question. Facebook user. Hi, Facebook user. I don't know if you were just joining, but I'm going to put this up here. So if you go to chat.restream.io/Facebook and give permission so that I can see your name, I would really appreciate it because I want to know who's talking to me. All right. So Facebook users say, I don't know if I'm in a position to buy currently, but I'm considering rental arbitrage. I wonder if the midterm rental strategy would be viable or something to consider. Absolutely. It doesn't matter the strategy for acquisition, but it matters the asset type. So the assets that are the most successful, and we go over that inside of the course, and I'm going to give you a little tip. It's going to be honestly, in most markets, a 3 bedroom or higher for a midterm rental strategy because there's a lot of competition for the midterm rental strategy as it relates to the smaller units. The REITs or the real estate investment trust, the big apartments like the chain apartments, those can be converted into midterm rental within a minute. And so those are a dime a dozen, right? There are so many of those. But what's going to cause you to stand out from the crowd? What's going to cause your property to be desirable as it relates to being converted into a midterm rental? And it's going to be a property. One of the aspects, and we go over all of the key metrics inside of the course, but one of the metrics is the size of the property. You're not going to find a 4 bedroom apartment for the most part. You're not going to find a 5 bedroom apartment for the most part, right? And so, even if you went the arbitrage route and you're considering midterm rental, I would definitely look into 3+ bedroom as the asset type. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right, Dimitri has a question. Does your midterm rental course talk more about the approach, how to approach the insurance companies for these contracts? Well, you know what? If you're set up correctly, guess what? They will come to you. And that's what I absolutely love about midterm rentals. Again, I am going to be the proponent for ROE, return on effort. Okay. So here's the deal, a lot of people out there are looking for ways to create these business to business relationships where you're reaching out on LinkedIn, you're creating an email campaign, you're purchasing the sales, what is it called in LinkedIn, the sales something tool, and you're doing a lot of things to generate leads, which is awesome, and I'm here for it. Actually, no, I'm not here for it. I like the path of least resistance. Okay, I like the path of least resistance, and all I do is I list my properties on the right platforms, and that's it. I price it right. I list it on the right platforms. I want my return on energy. I am not trying to work that hard anymore. Is it okay that I say that? Look, 2023, guys, you're not going to recognize me. I'm going to work less and less and less. So, and that's what I want for my community. I want us working smarter and not harder. I want us working smarter and not harder. And so, yes, it's really important for me to find ways that that will put my properties out there. Once I have those connections, then I have an automated email, that continues to share my properties with those connections. And that's it. I'm not fighting for my life. I'm not, chasing down leads. I'm not going to do it. There may come a time in my life where I have to do it, but it hasn't happened yet. And I'm not going to do it. And I hope the same for you too, because here's the deal. It's hard, right? It's hard out here on the streets. I've got to list here. I got to do this. No, I'm going to list, I'm going to tweak. I am not chasing down leads. And so, yes, there are the right places to list your property. There are the wrong places to list your property. We focus on the right places, and I just focus on the places that work. I'm not going to create more work for myself, nor am I going to create more work for my community. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right. Dimitri says, love that. ROE. Yes. I am all about, look, 2023, I am all about ROE. Did this task or whatever give me energy? Did this task or whatever give me my return on investment? We're not going to be moving paper for hours and hours and hours. We have to be strategic and focus on what it is that we need to do. Okay. So, guys, I want to take one more look at all the places to make sure that I'm answering the questions. And if for those of you who are asking questions, if you do not, I'm sorry. If you do not see a response quite yet, bear with me. It may be one of those things where I can follow up after the fact and respond to your questions. But I so appreciate you being here with me. I so appreciate you hanging out with me, guys. You guys have hung out with me, a lot of you, for the last year or so, and you have no idea how grateful I am for you and for this community. I thank you so, so very much for your unwavering support. I thank you so, so very much for staying connected, for listening to me as I go on my little soapboxes. I thank you so much for coming on the lives with me as I interview different guests, providing information to us relative to short term rentals. I'm just super, super grateful for you. You just, eh, uh, I'm just overwhelmed by gratitude. So thank you, thank you. I really hope you guys have an amazing year. Okay, Facebook user says, but without marketing, how do you find the guests? Yeah, Facebook user. Unfortunately, I can't see your name. I'm so sorry, but whoever just asked that question. That says, but without marketing, how do you find the guests? So I list my property on at least 4 platforms that I cover in the course. So those platforms, they're the lion's share of the marketing. They do a ton of marketing for me as well. And so that's what I do. But as far as me generating leads manually through LinkedIn, I'm not doing that. I don't do that. I hope that that's clear. All right. Okay. So that's that. All right, guys. So again, thank you, guys. I love you guys to the moon and back. I cannot wait to see you again this week. We will not have a training on Tuesday, but please stand by. We will resume our training the following Tuesday. We're going to go all in on funding. Okay, so that is step one. You cannot purchase a property if you do not have your funding in place. So this is one of the very first things that I tell members inside of the Luxury Short-Term Rental Academy. Let's get you your pre-approval. Let's figure out your funding situation so that we can put in an offer on a property. Okay, so that's step one. So funding is super, super, super important. Let's go ahead and if you know, stay connected, guys. I typically go live. I try to go live in all the places, but for sure, I typically go live inside of the Facebook group. Keep an eye out for the information on that. And I just, again, cannot tell you how appreciative I am of you. I give you guys your props for always coming in, looking for the information that you need to move the needle forward. Let me confirm. Yep, I did go over all 5 pillars. Again, I'm going to I'll let you guys go for now, but I absolutely appreciate you. And you guys have a wonderful 2023. 2023 is the year, guys, that we are going to find the alignment that we're looking for. And for those of you whose properties are out of alignment with your goals, that ends now, 2023. This is the year, guys, to get in alignment. Okay. Love you guys again. I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.